Alien Fear is Fearizing. Today we're talking about Jack the Ripper.
G'day guys, how are we? I'm Byron.
Mr. Conspiracy.
I'm Zell.
And I'm Andrew.
You guys gave me shit for my Japanese accent.
But did that not sound like a
And-
fucking
and
Cockney
we're-
accent?
Did I not sound like an
and
Aussie?
we're just gonna let that slide.
Byron was trying to do an accent, but it just nothing changed.
What? That wasn't good. That wasn't a good Cockney.
I thought it was great.
You want more? Eripa. That's the only other thing I can say. I've been practicing it.
Is that what a London accent's called? Is Cockney?
Well, it's like the
Yeah.
lower class.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, okay,
you
okay.
know, come on,
Like
because
the-
we're talking about Whitechapel. I thought I'd.
So, anyways, yeah, it's case file 45. Jack the Ripper. We've been This is probably our most requested like murder mystery for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it's the most iconic serial killer of all time. So
Well,
I'd say he's up there.
I don't know if he's the most iconic, but he was like the first
the first
posterized like
yeah,
serial
that's true.
killer, right? Like,
First publicized one for
he
sure.
was
Serial
the,
killer,
he was
yeah.
the trendsetter, right? Like from all the research I was doing, I guess Bram Stoker got the idea for Dracula from him.
Really,
Yeah.
like the throat slashing and the blood and shit.
Well, I think it was just like that. The whole play on like a fucking an aristocrat. You know what I mean? Going down and swooping around and fucking.
Before
Mr. Why are you laughing? You're throwing me off my game.
Conspiracy's losing it.
Before
losing it already.
Before dabbing those serial killing. He's the one who started trend setting.
Yeah, for serial killers.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Why is that?
Watch your headphones.
He's a trendsetter.
First one. That's so funny.
Oh, look at the guy's laughing at me and his fucking alarm's going off. Hey, buddy.
Time to get up for work there, big guy.
Shitty.
Anyways, before we get there, I think the Randomatron is. I think it's KO'd.
It is.
pooched.
The Randomatron is KO'd this week.
We're
It's yeah, it's just stuck. It's something's jammed.
the 3000 is it the 3000 right? It's out. I think it's dead.
No, it's the 5,000. I think we had the 5,000.
We're up to the 5. Okay, with 5,000's out. I think we're working on the 6,000. Hopefully.
Oh, dude, the 6,000 doesn't come out to 2020. It's the 5,500
it's
XT.
the 5000S.
The 5500 is
much.
gonna be obsolete in fucking 2 months. Like you just, I don't know.
Well, dude, thanks to all our Patreon supporters, we can afford the 5,500.
We can afford
and then,
a
you know
new
what?
Randomatron.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then you know what else I'm going to buy with all my money? A package of McCormick candy bananas.
Man, do I love a good pack of McCormick's candy bananas. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I fucking hate those.
If I buy a pack of those fucking things, they're like the 750 gram, like a huge fucking bag of these things. They'll be dummied, no joke, in 1 hour.
It's a fucking bag of penicillin candies.
Yeah.
Fucking gross, man.
You know what?
That shit.
I don't care. Like,
You could eat that whole bag.
I could eat the whole bag.
What do you think about Peeps?
And I wouldn't even be sick.
Do you like Peeps?
I don't like.
All right.
I actually don't like Peeps.
Okay,
though.
good.
Anyways.
All right.
That's good.
What are the odds for the next podcast? I'm gonna go on Amazon, buy you a crate of McCormick candy bananas, and I'm gonna send it to you. And you have to eat the whole crate from the start of the
Wait,
podcast
did you?
to the end of the podcast.
How do we get upgraded?
700 grams to a
700
crate.
grams to a crate of candy bananas.
I'm just saying. Okay, well, like a little plastic crate.
Like a milk crate?
Let me tell you something. If you send them here, I will eat them.
Before the podcast even starts.
I won't drink beer. I'll just eat candy bananas the whole podcast.
Oh, you're gonna feel so shitty.
No, but the thing is, I won't. I'll feel fine.
Jesus.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, I'd be so sick after like 20 of them.
It's no,
Try like 2.
no problem, buddy. I can eat the whole bag. Anyways,
Jack the Ripper.
no, we're doing space
Um,
news. You got space news?
Space news.
Space news.
All right, Mr. Conspiracy, you had something lined up. You said that was really important.
Very, very important. You've been talking about it all day.
No. Very good shit. There's no space news.
There's no space.
Classic.
Some people
Classic.
tell you there's
Yeah.
no space. So
There is no space.
Well,
What did I have for space news? Hang on.
Let me just check my notes.
is he sitting there? Is he sitting there googling stuff?
Oh, he's going through his fucking flashcards.
He's got his key cards.
he's legit got a fucking a
Unreal.
stack of 3x6 fucking flashcards just lined.
There's my
Wait,
space.
he is flashing. Oh,
Wait. Everyone shut up. He's got a card that says Space News on it.
He's fucking
He's got
dying.
one
got
line,
one thing.
and you can't even read it.
It says Auroras? No Auroras. It's the end of Space News.
Oh my
What a
god.
waste of a fucking
Wait.
flashcard. Bro.
Welcome back.
I'm telling you, you took the time
Take the time
get
to
a
write
cue
that
card
Rod Space News.
Can you get
and
a
to-
picture of that
and-
and put it on the fucking
and then
Facebook
to
group?
literally write
will.
my line on it. That's what you did.
Yeah.
out. That's exactly
That's
what
what
he
little
did.
brothers do. They steal your thunder.
No, it's because
Well,
I
you get-
wrote in it. I got a bunch of different ones.
Okay.
Bunch of different ones. I
well,
wrote it and then looked and there was nothing. And I was like,
Okay,
All right.
give him some credit. He went out and purchased fucking school supplies. Okay, like give this guy some fucking credit.
back to school.
now, if
they
you'd only
run the
do
deal.
like a little bit of research into the rest of the stuff.
Anyways, Braden, you got some space news?
Yeah, space news. So there's no auroras.
Thanks, Mr. Conspiracy.
We already knew that.
So the last couple of weeks, there was some incredible auroras in the. Pretty much, you can see them everywhere. Even some of the states got some incredible auroras. Again, I didn't get to see any of them. It was all overcast up here. But August, we're getting the annual Perseid meteor showers. Perseid
Perseid, I think. Yeah.
Perseid meteor showers every year. So keep an eye out for those.
I got one thing to say about that. It's supposed
What's
to be
that?
the biggest one in 100 years.
Oh shit.
So
Get out there.
I'm gonna be,
On
okay.
Dark Night?
I'm gonna be at Shambhala Music Festival during that on August 12th,
You'll
and
be-
I guaranteed
You'll be saying something.
I will be seeing something.
Chasing around little white.
I'll be I'll be chasing.
You
Dig
would.
down
You're
the
not.
rabbit hole.
You're not even going to be on this dimension. Who are you
I
kidding?
will be in a different whole plane of existence.
Dimension X.
You're just going to be on all the applesauce.
Anyways, yeah, it's supposed to be the biggest in 100 years, and about 80 meteors an hour is
Wow.
if you're in a clear area and you actually see the sky kind of thing. So
More importantly, we're all quitting our jobs and we're applying to become the NASA Planetary Protection Officer.
my application is in. I can't wait.
Oh man.
It's gonna be awesome. What does this job entail?
So-
I didn't even read the description.
I just signed
The
up.
role is to prevent alien contamination.
Awesome.
Too late.
I've been waiting.
Now they're talking probably about satellites and other shit, or are they talking about fucking goddamn
No,
aliens?
they're talking
Independence
about
Day.
they're talking about sitting fucking waiting for aliens to come, and then you punch them in the face and say, "Welcome to Earth." That's it. That's the job. That's what it says on the application.
There's frequent travel will be required.
To space?
It pays 120 to 190,000 per year.
Fuck, I hope I accept.
I could live with that.
I'd do for that for sure. I'd cancel Patreon. I'd support the pod.
So you'd basically be like a real life Captain Planet.
Fuck yeah.
That's so fucking rad.
Captain Planet.
Were you gonna sing the song, or what was that
you
about?
started and then
I was
fizzled
going
out.
to, and then I was like,
Yeah, but that's not even how the song starts. You
No.
butchered it.
Well, I don't. Whatever.
You
Sing
don't
it
remember?
then.
Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero.
Now with your powers multiplied, and we're fighting on the planet side. Earth, fire, wind, heart. There's another one. Water.
Yeah.
Go planet. Or something like that anyway.
Yeah.
I did not. I remember Captain Planet, but I do not remember the song.
I saw it once or twice.
A couple times. Byron, he's
that
fucking
robot
30
chicken?
years old. He remembers Captain Planet from 18 years ago.
Did you see the Don Cheadle Captain Planet skit on Funny or Die?
No.
Everybody look that up. It's fucking amazing. Yeah. It's fucking. Yeah, I suggest everyone go YouTube that at your earliest convenience.
Cool.
So yeah, anyways, who's the front runner for this fucking this job?
Me, obviously.
No, let's be serious here. When
I'm-
you
I'm-
can think of one man, who's the one man that could fill those fucking gigantic
Well,
boots?
It has to be the
Are
people's
you
champ.
are you
It's
leaning?
got to be.
Are we talking about?
The most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The people's champ. That would be, I think, the number one pick.
Brock Lesnar.
No, I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar's from another planet, so he doesn't really fucking count.
Yeah, that's true.
That's who we're fighting.
Nice
Wait,
Paul
that's what you're
Heyman, though.
talking
That was pretty good. I'm impressed.
Anyways, yeah, it's
Didn't he look when Braden was like 50 pounds heavier? Who was it that he looked like at Halloween a
Oh,
couple years?
Paul Bear.
That's the
that
one.
was
Do you remember that?
It wasn't. It was at fucking Bailey's wedding. He
Oh,
looked
that's
exactly like
right.
Paul Bear, and that was amazing. And
was so
that's
funny.
Braden's darkest moment. I can't believe you brought that up on air. Are you okay, buddy? You okay? Can we get a fat picture of Braden and put it right beside Paul Bear and put that up just so people can see?
I'm sure it's doable.
Yeah, we have.
No, dude. Honestly, the worst picture of me in the history of pictures is the Halloween picture when me and Zelly went as Wayne and Garth, and I look like Wayne ate Wayne.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. Anyways, that's a whole another. We'll talk about more costumes on After Hours, probably.
You're looking lean and mean right now, bud. Don't worry, you look good.
Awesome. Any more space news?
No, that's it for space news.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to touch on. Also, so
Oh,
the case of the night. It's our first murder mystery, besides Elisa Lamb, I guess.
Hopefully, the first of many. This was so much fun to research. I want to do.
This
more.
is your wheelhouse, right?
Well, I thought after reading this, I uncovered so many other names that I
you should
wanna
see
do
this
pods
guy.
on.
He's got a fucking booklet. He's got notes.
Yeah.
This guy's prepared.
It's
Well,
not.
I'm
It's not a
s-
flash. It's not flash notes. It's a pad. It's
flash-
a proper pad.
it's not flashcards that he bought at the dollar store.
with fucking like one sentence on it.
And the sentence was, "Space
Jack
news.
the Ripper.
Aurora's
No murder.
Jack Ripper. Murderer.
murderer.
Jack the Ripper, unsolved. That's it.
That's the face card.
He does have one that says Jack the Ripper, but he's got a paragraph written
Is it
after.
spelled right?
Uh,
It's probably written in fucking crayon.
I can barely read it.
It's those gel pens. That's,
Smelly felt.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Anyways, Jack the Ripper. How do you want to start this? Want to me give a quick little summary of what happened?
Yeah, who is
Well,
he? Tell us
set-
about him.
Whitechapel or
Talk about Whitechapel bit, and then I got a little excerpt just to set the fucking tone.
You know, I don't really know. I don't know. I know Whitechapel is East London.
Yeah.
It was a melting pot, like after like the famine and stuff. But I think you got a bunch of stuff on that.
Well, that's pretty much all I was going
All
to touch
right.
on. Like in the 1800s,
I got this.
Ooh, he's jumping in.
Cheers, cuts him.
Guys, you guys ready?
yeah.
All right. From August 7th to September 10th in 1888, London's Whitechapel district in London's East End was terrorized. Someone killed at least 5 prostitutes and mutilated their bodies in an unusual manner. I'll try not to sound so sexy when I say this.
As well.
That's
You're giving us all fucking boners here.
yeah.
It's
Turn it
weird.
off.
As I-
Turn it off.
Well, 5 prostitutes, yeah. Indicating that there was a killer that had knowledge of the human anatomy. The murderer was
Speculation.
never captured and remains one of England's and the world's most infamous criminals.
Okay, so to paint the picture of Whitechapel in like the 1800s, right?
What do they sound like?
I don't. You made fun of it already. You killed it. I got no. I got
he's
no
fucking
courage with
lost
my
it now.
fucking Cockney now.
I liked it. No, I
Anyways,
enjoyed the accent.
So, Whitechapel, 1800s, huge melting pot of Irish immigrants from the potato famine. Lots of Jews getting kicked out of Russia, all headed towards Whitechapel because it was, you know what I mean. It was a little more of a seedy area, cheaper to live. You could rent places to stay for like 4 pennies. They called them the 4-penny coffins. But anyways, so think about this like really low, like let's think
Slums
about
almost.
the slums, the ghetto
Yeah.
of England at the time. Okay, so a lot of people didn't have jobs; they couldn't provide for their families or anything like that. So, you know, what did women do to make money that didn't really have any skills or anything like that? Right?
Oh, they got skills.
Well, they have skills, but you know what I mean. Certain, you know, lady of the night skills,
They had some skills.
right? And it's not that
Did they?
it's not that these
did
are
they-
trashy women or anything like that. These are
Did they soca the cork?
Oh, that's so good.
they're
The
so
big
good at
choice.
good.
It was
It's so good at good.
It was a last resort for a lot of the women, right?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
And, but and it's the only way they could really.
Wait, are you saying Zelly? Are you saying last resort was to soca cork?
I guess I am. If Soka Cork is meaning what I think you're meaning,
So
then,
be it.
then so be it. Yeah.
So, anyways, like this is right. So you got prostitutes, you've got butchers walking around the streets carrying sacks of meat covered in blood. You've got a low morale, just a perfect storm, like a breeding ground for a serial killer. A serial killer. So that's my tone of Whitechapel.
It's turning into Mike Tyson Mysteries here.
Yeah, I love that show.
So good. Anyways,
Pogo,
Spinal.
Pogo!
It's spinal.
I broke my back.
Yeah, I could. It was spinal. It was spinal.
Can you elaborate on that? Spinal.
It was spinal. Okay. Anyways,
back to Whitechapel.
get at so lead into the first mystery, though. The first murder.
Okay, well, it was 1888 to 1891. There was 11 murders, but 5 of them were considered so similar that they connected it all to Jack the Ripper.
The
And
canonical.
they
five.
call the canonical 5. Marianne Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly.
And they all took place within a mile of each other in Whitechapel.
Yeah, so like the 11 murders were called the Whitechapel murders, and then the canonical 5 were those attributed to Jack the Ripper.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And we're not saying that like any of the other 11 could have not been Jack the Ripper, but they didn't fit his MO exactly.
They didn't fit his
Like,
profile, right?
These five fit his profile like fucking exactly.
Yeah.
Well, except for the last one. The last one was a little different. But
Yeah, the first ones could have been him getting started, and then he found his groove, and then he went.
Totally.
But yeah, like fucking, that's why it's one of the biggest mysteries of all time. There's
That's how Jack got his groove back.
100 theories. Okay. How do you want to go? You want to go through the murders?
Well, yeah. Let's start with the first one.
So it was
It's just
Marianne
the 5 or the
Nichols.
11?
3:40 a.m. on Friday, the 31st of August, 1888. She was the first killed. Her throat was severed by 2 cuts, and the lower part of her abdomen was ripped partly open by a deep, jagged wound. Several other incisions on the abdomen were caused by the same knife. So pretty much that's the first Ripper murder.
Exactly.
So
and then
just a fucking stabby stab. Get it done. Get out.
and she was known as a local alcoholic, like most of the prostitutes were, right? That's what a lot of
You
their
pretty much have to be. I think, yeah.
prostitution money went to, the proceeds of being a lady of the night. She was last seen walking around looking for 4 pennies for a 4-penny coffin to spend the night. Around 2:30 that night, she ran into her friend Ellen, and that was the last person that seen her. Okay, so Zelly kind of explained how she was murdered, like severed windpipe right down to the spine, what have you. And I think it was Charles. Well, so here, I won't get into it yet, but Charles Cross was the first person seen with the body. And he was said that he was down low checking to see if he could see the chest rise and if she was breathing. And he said the chest was rising when he was there.
Also, he was there like immediately after.
So it was fresh. It had just happened.
Like she was still
According-
bleeding out pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the first one. All right.
He walks up on this girl. She's bleeding, still breathing. And is he not immediately a suspect?
Well, do you want to get into that now, or do you want? I think we keep the suspects till later,
Okay, suspects. We'll go through the murders.
right? And it wasn't actually just Charles Cross. It was Charles Cross and Robert Paul.
Right. Okay.
So Robert Paul came up like just within seconds after, according to Cross.
Right, and the guy, like the last person she's seen with, she said it was a dark-haired man of shabby, gentle appearance, whatever the fuck that means.
Described as foreign.
Foreign.
And back then, when they described someone as foreign, it was Jewish.
Right.
Yeah, that was their. Yeah.
That was just a go-to.
Yeah, and then like just another thing to paint the picture for Whitechapel. Like Whitechapel only had its own real police force for like 50 years, right? So cops are, you know what I mean? They're not the most trustworthy people at this time, right? Like a lot of times people would be getting fucking arrested, and the community people who didn't even know the person was getting arrested would like stage a rescue. Like as the cops were trying to fucking cuff this guy up, people would be throwing bricks and shit at the cops and pulling them back and trying to like get this guy out because they didn't trust the cops.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't understand where this comes from, but back then their nicknames for cops were Blue Devils and Red Lobsters.
Red lobsters.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get the Blue Devil part. Like you got a blue suit on, but Red
I don't even
Devil.
think they're wearing red, so I don't know. Anyways,
Oh, are they wearing red? Because aren't they like the English, those fucking guards? That said
They're
wearing red?
the Queen's Guard,
yeah,
That's just Queen's Guard.
Yeah.
All right. That shows. I don't know shit.
I think.
Okay, so let's go to the second murder. It was Chapman, Annie Chapman. Her body was discovered about 6 a.m. on Saturday, September 8th, 1888, near a doorway in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street. And the same thing, the throat was severed by 2 cuts, the abdomen was slashed entirely open, and it was later discovered that the uterus has been removed.
yes.
So now what they think is he's ramping up. Now he's like, he either hates women or for some reason he's got a vendetta against like prostitutes, and he's like slowly ramping up his killings.
So, he removed her uterus and part of her bladder, and I'm assuming he took part of her bladder with uterus. It's
Probably
Attached,
pretty
right?
close, right? Yeah.
So Annie Chapman was known as Dark Annie. She liked to drink quite a bit. She was feisty. She was short, fat. She spent
Perfect woman.
She spent the night previously in the infirmary for fighting over bar soap.
At least she's
And
trying
then
to.
she got
clean.
out.
Trying to
Keep
stay
it clean.
Well, she got out, and then she tried to go to like the communal lodging area, and she was refused because she was fucking wasted.
She's
and the guy's
stunk.
like, "You don't have any money, but you got money to get wasted, so fuck, kick rocks, lady."
Get out. Yep.
And then again, around 5:30, she was last seen with a foreign-looking man.
Another dark-haired,
So
shabby.
similar.
man.
Yeah.
The thing with this one is like it's quick. Like she was last seen at 5:30, alive, and then at 6 she was discovered dead.
It's like whoever's doing it.
Stomach ripped
fucking-
open, like cut open. Like they're quick.
Well, that's the common theme with the majority is like you think about it, right? Like all these fucking wounds are all fast inflicted wounds, right? Like just a quick throat slit. That's a fucking right away, boom, dead, right? Like he's getting in, getting out,
Yeah.
right?
He knows what
he
he's
didn't
doing.
quit it.
He's not mucking around.
No,
And that leads to later theories that he knew his anatomy, right?
potentially.
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 It's strange though. That, like most killers go for the long and dreary kill rather than just
Serial
just
killers,
slash someone and
typically, yeah.
to
Yeah, but-
run. Like,
But think about where these people are being found. They're not being found fucking,
They're in the
you know what I
street.
mean?
Yeah, in
Like
the
buried
bush.
in the woods or some shit. They're being found in the fucking street or, back out. Like
Downtown.
there's,
like,
think about it, right?
gutsy, ballsy
There's
place to
fucking
kill
prostitutes
him.
on every fucking corner working hard for their money, right? They're putting in. They're everywhere. So it's hard, right?
Yeah, it came into my mind. Yeah.
So following the Annie Chapman murder, this is where they came up with the first suspect type situation. And it's pretty like for me, what Jack the Ripper's original name was way fucking scarier than his real name.
Was it Leatherman or something?
No, Leather Apron.
Leather Apron,
Fucking
right?
spooky, man.
That is a fucking
right? Like it's like he wears their fucking faces for an apron or
It's like
some shit.
that's like Leatherface, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
totally.
shit.
Yeah. Spooky, man. And then they had this. Obviously, the go-to was
When you said he wears their skin as an apron, I just
Buffalo Bill?
pictured that scene in where Buffalo Bill's got his junk tucked between his legs and he's dancing in front of the mirror.
Did you fuck me?
That's where my mind went.
Because I'd fuck me.
fuck
Yeah.
you.
I'd fuck me real
I'd
hard.
fuck me.
But yeah, so Leather Apron, and they were already trying to pin it on, like, 'cause, everybody's describing foreign. So they kind of already like this Israel Lipsky guy. Because I guess a year before all this started happening, he was arrested for pouring nitroglycerin down a prostitute's throat. So
Isn't that like fucking what's that? Dry ice?
I don't know. what it is.
Nitroglycerin. No, that's what you make
No,
dynamite with.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what you make
it's
dynamite with,
explosive.
right? Yeah.
explosive, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But like the next 2 killings, Elizabeth Stride and Catherine.
Sorry to interrupt real quick.
Yep.
One different thing about Annie Chapman was she was strangled.
Strangled
So that's
first.
key.
Strangled prior.
Wow. She was strangled. I'm just gonna touch that now. I'm not gonna get fucking.
Into it yet.
Right? I'm not letting you.
So
I gotta fucking lube you up before I. Fucking
She had her
let
throat
go.
cut twice, her abdomen ripped out and shit, and her uterus, but she
Yeah.
was also strangled.
Yeah. So he had a little bit more playtime with this one as opposed to the first.
A half
Yeah.
hour.
Right. Yeah. Right, well, which is
You could do a lot in a half hour.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah, Byron saying something about the next one.
Yeah, Stride and Edwards.
Edos.
Edos.
Yeah, were killed in the early morning on Sunday, 30th September 1888. Stride's body was discovered at about 1 in the morning in Dutchfield's yard, just off Barron Street, now known as, I'm butchering this, Henquist Street in Whitechapel.
Henriques, I think.
Sure, that sounds way better. The cause of death was one clear-cut incision which severed the main artery on the left side of the neck. The absence of mutilation to the abdomen has led to uncertainty about whether Stride's murder should be attributed to Jack the Ripper.
Right, a little bit different.
Yeah, well, there was a cut to the throat, which is similar to the other cases, but there was no stomach cuts. But the other theory with that is that they may have been interrupted during.
I've heard that too. Like he might have been stopped in the act, or
And like I said, these are busy streets, even at all times of the morning.
well, if
right?
it's
Maybe
such
hear
a
or
such
see
a
something.
concentrated population, right? Like,
Totally.
Yeah. And witnesses thought that they saw Stride with a man earlier that night, but gave different descriptions. Some said that her companion was fair. Others say that he was like dark. Some said that he was, again, shabby dressed, which a lot of people would have been at that time too in the areas.
yeah, especially in that area.
Before you get into the second one,
Yeah.
at this time, like even before that, like after the Chapman murder, right? The last one, the fat plump lady,
Yep.
Annie,
Annie,
the one that got her
Doc
uterus
Annie.
removed. So after her murder, these is starting to get a little bit more popular, right? They're gaining traction. People are starting to write about it.
It's all about in the press, right?
It's all about in the press. And right after that, a guy named W.T. Stead of the Pall Mall Gazette, he's the one that came up with the idea of Gentleman Jack. Okay, so we've gone from Leather Apron, some scrubby Jewish guy that's out killing people, to Gentleman Jack. The first person to kind of associate Jack the Ripper as kind of like an aristocrat, right? Kind of like similar to the Marquis de Sade.
Like a higher society level person.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And it fit well because at this time, there was a lot of the aristocrats frequent Whitechapel for the prostitutes, right? They'd be seen sneaking in, checking on the prostitutes, getting a little
Cloak
something,
up and fucking walking out.
and fuck off. And it caught like fucking wildfire because the aristocrats loved the fucking idea of Jack the Ripper being one of them. You know what I mean? They would all get together and they'd be fucking sipping their tea.
Talking
Quite
about-
right, Rails. Fucking drinking their fucking tea with the thumbs out. Joke around about
Indubitably.
Indubitably correct.
Tough to drink a thing of tea with
Quite
your
right,
thumbs out.
Rails. Anyways, so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, quite right. Quite right. Yes, chap.
Jack the Ripper's preposterous. Anyways.
Just picturing what's that guy from Family Guy? With
Somebody with jowls. That's all I
Yeah,
can picture.
yeah.
Fucking mustache. But yeah, anyways.
Indubitably.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
So anyway, so now this is that whole idea is catching fucking traction. That okay, maybe it's an aristocrat, maybe it's a wealthy person that's coming down, picking a prostitute, slicing her up, and fucking off. So I just wanted to make that kind of
That's where that idea started.
yes, and that's where
After
that's
those
where they're
murders.
sitting at this fucking and then also too another thing. So we know that the aristocratic people, the aristocrats, enjoyed the idea of it being one of them, right? And then to the fucking common people, they were on the fucking idea that it was a doctor, right? Somebody that, because everybody's talking about this guy's got to have medical knowledge.
yeah.
He's got to have anatomy, physiology, that kind of stuff for being able to remove these precise body parts, right? So people at this time were already fucking scared shitless of doctors, right? People were scared shitless of doctors because everybody had this idea that doctors were kind of roving the streets and kidnapping people, throwing them on a table and dissecting them in front of a bunch of fucking people, which isn't
not out of the question. I don't think.
which is not
Yeah.
untrue. They
I'm
potentially
sure that happened a few times.
right. And like for doctors, they'd call them they called doctors ghouls because also they would go into cemeteries and dig up bodies, take them,
Cadavers,
And
right?
use them.
right?
But yeah.
And that scared the shit out of people. That think about these fucking people that are witnessing these doctors dig up dead bodies and stuff are the same type of people that still think fucking witches and shit are real. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this. Think about it, right? So But anyway, so
Wait,
that. So
are you saying you don't believe in witches?
well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I got a few ex-girlfriends that are.
We're playing Ouija board again soon. So
But so, anyways, rich people excited, like the idea of him being an aristocrat. Common folk thinking potentially he's a doctor. You know what I mean? Which actually isn't. You know,
It's not out of
sounds.
question.
Makes sense.
But
Possibility-
so everybody's got
possibility.
this thing. He's like, oh, he's got to know anatomy. He's got to know anatomy. He must be a fucking doctor. Well, think about this. What if these aren't the first fucking people he's killed? What if he's been killing somewhere else before he came to Whitechapel?
Man,
dicing up bodies.
When I was reading it, I was like, you know what? In a time where like news was not that well connected across countries,
Yeah.
exactly.
he could have killed in another country or 2 or 3 before, changed his patterns, got to that country, did 5 murders, went on to the next one.
Well, totally. And if you're let's say this is the fucking 30th body I've chopped up, I'm pretty goddamn sure I know where the uterus is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This ain't the first. This ain't my first time riding a bike, man.
You probably
hack
hack you hack up the first few, and then you figure it out.
fucking rights. Okay. Anyways, sorry
Anyways.
for interrupting, Byron.
No, that's fine.
That was great.
And then, so yeah, the 2 girls, geez, hang on, names escape me, where are we? Yeah, Elizabeth and Catherine were like really close together, the 2 of them. And Catherine's body was found in Meter Square in the city of London, 3/4 of an hour after Strides. So pretty close back to back, which being so close together also backs onto the fact that he may have been interrupted with Stride's body.
Oh, totally.
So he was going
Or he
to
was
do
getting
normal
both
cut.
of them at once. I'm not sure what the right pronunciation is, but I believe it is menage a trois.
Well, no, but
Yeah, I'm
one
pretty
that's
sure that
gone
means killing 2
completely
people,
wrong.
killing 2 people at the same time. I think that's exactly what that means.
getting 2
Yeah.
birds stoned.
There you go.
Exactly.
I fucking know this, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, it totally, like, you think about it, right? He, with the first one, with fucking, with Elizabeth Stride, shoddy job, quick fucking throat slit, GTFO, gotta go. You know what I mean? Of course, he didn't get to do his thing, right? This guy's fucking, he's got his MO, he's got his profile. He loves
Yeah,
chopping these
he's got-
bitches up, pulling shit out,
Because serial killers always have a profile, right?
and he's not satisfied.
Yeah.
Coitus
You know what I mean?
interruptus.
What's it called?
Coitus interruptus.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
more.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
sex,
Fucking-
but
Yeah,
He had murder blue balls.
Murder.
He had
yeah,
murder
exactly.
blue balls.
Yeah.
Jesus.
technically speaking, yeah. So then he found Catherine went at it, and the throat was severed, and the abdomen was ripped open by a long, deep, jagged wound. The left kidney and the major part of the uterus had been removed. A local man named Joseph Lawton had passed through the square with 2 friends shortly before the murders, and he described seeing a fair-haired man of shabby appearance with a woman who may have been Catherine.
Edos.
Yeah.
Edos.
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 His companions were unable to confirm this description, most likely off their chops. But both the murders were later called the double event.
This is 2 murders in one morning. then?
Sinister name.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Double event.
event.
So
Just when you thought it wasn't bad enough. Double event.
Yeah.
he also, you forgot one fucking weird thing too. So he, you know, like he stole her fucking kidney, right? Uterus and kidney, popped that shit out.
Yeah.
He also cut off her nose, which is the first time. So
That's
he
the
cut off her
first.
nose, and then he made 2 vertical slits down each eyelid, and then cut 2 little triangle slits underneath her eyes.
Oh, so he's progressing.
Right? It's fucked. He kind of makes like you think of like it's your first juggalo. You know, think like a fucking clown face.
The first juggalo. That's terrible.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
ICP. Anyways,
Okay, so hours before the Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes murder,
nice.
Scotland Yard was given a series of letters. Ooh, spooky letters.
We're talking about the famous 3. Is it 3 letters?
Yeah,
The from hell,
the From Hell.
the dear boss.
Okay, so first I gotta fucking chime in on the Dear Boss.
Okay.
I've never enjoyed reading a letter so much in my life because, like, 2 of these letters are addressed to the boss, and the entire time I'm reading these, I feel like he's addressed them to fucking Bruce Springsteen. I can't fucking help it. I fucking love it.
He's
It's
the
hilarious.
boss.
He is the boss.
He is the
He's the
boss.
fucking boss, right? So yeah, so there's the What was the other one? It was the fucking something. We had a weird name. I gotta pull it up.
You got
The Ripper letters.
You got it there, Zell?
So there's the boss letter, the from hell letter, and then this other one's got the saucy Jack.
Oh, Saucy Jack.
Saucy
That's
Jack.
what it is. Yeah.
The
Saucy Jack.
Sounds like something you get at Jack in the Box. Look,
A Saucy Jack.
I'll take a saucy Jack, please.
Just a chicken sandwich smothered in disgusting processed mayonnaise and chipotle sauce. So
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like to me.
So now, like, there's a lot of speculation with these letters where they really from
him?
Jack, this and that.
A lot of people think they were just someone like they knew about the murders and instantly quickly sent in a letter and try to gain a little fame. But
Now, should we read the letters or fuck it? We just talked about them. That was enough. What do you think?
so these letters were before the last murder.
They were, and so for me, you know what I mean. Like a lot of them are kind of fucking whatever. You know what I mean. Jack's kind of gloating a bit, talking about how he likes the name, all this shit, and it's like, okay, anybody can write this. Anybody can write this. No big deal. And then From Hell comes out. Spooky. All
Yeah.
right, From Hell, unreal. Read the graphic novel by Alan Moore. Wicked too. Anyways, so the From Hell one comes out, and they all matched with the same handwriting, right? But the one that legitimizes this one a little bit more is it came with a fucking piece of a kidney, a human fucking kidney.
And that was after. It wasn't the Dear Boss letter. They said that in the next murder, I'm going to give a piece of the kidney. Or I thought it was, it was the ear.
No, he said I'm going to clip an ear.
Clip an ear.
And he was going to clip an ear.
And then the next one came.
And he did clip
and
an ear.
did
So
clip
that
an
kind of
ear.
legitimizes it too. I forgot about
It makes
that.
it a little more real.
Right?
Unless someone's like, I've heard the argument too, like, okay, they said that, and then some journalist was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking get a cadaver and clip off their ear and send it in just to get a little.
Well,
more.
no, I don't think he sent in the ear. I think that just the body was found with one of their ears.
Well, without.
clipped.
Oh, okay, maybe that's what.
So
it is.
it's
Okay.
if this motherfucker
That-
was able to schmeeg onto the scene, snip a little ear and frig off before anybody saw him, maybe.
It would
Maybe.
be too hard.
But you'd have
Right, yeah, I
to
can see
be
it,
out and
yeah.
about, and you'd have to know where he was.
Yeah, in such a busy neighborhood, like it's. I think it. Yeah, it
We'll
would be
get you
tough.
in here by 2
So,
o'clock
yeah.
this afternoon.
So we got one more
Fucking
murder left.
amateurs.
We got the
Probably
one.
the most infamous of them all.
You got Zell?
We're talking about Mary Jane Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Dun dun.
So she was mutilated and disemboweled on November 9th, 1888, in her own home. Which theories go then like if now you're thinking like, okay, he's preying on prostitutes, so he's like he gets them home first. Like he's all friendly, gets them home, and then she fucking disembowels this girl. The throat had been severed down to the spine, so now he's like getting super aggressive. Like
Wow. Yeah, trying to take the head
You're not
right
you're
off.
not you're not just fucking cutting. You're not just like just doing a quick slice. Like you're fucking
You're chopping.
yeah. You're not just like you can't just slice down to. You have to like.
It's
you're
hard to
s-
cut through, man.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fucking insane, but yeah, she.
Like vertebrae and shit. That's
Well, you're cutting through bone now, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Abdomen almost emptied of its organs, and the heart was missing. So now he's progressing to the point where now he's fucking started to like rip out.
He's
fucking
hungry.
Everything.
What do you think he did with the heart? Did he eat it?
My speculation? He probably made some type of prostitute heart sandwich. Yes,
Most likely.
most likely. Yeah.
Hannibal
A
Lecter.
Fucking
prostitute heart
got himself a
sandwich.
nice fucking some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Gross.
Couldn't call him a heartless prick anymore.
He also
There you
just,
go.
it's weird too because so he spent all this time, he fucking eviscerated her, pulled all her organs, all that shit out. And then he just stabbed the fuck out of her face. Like, I don't know how, he just mutilated it. So there's a little bit of rage, fucking.
Aggression.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
fuck. Oh my God. Braden,
What?
how much you want to bet that fucking Rick 1 is a descendant of Jack the Ripper?
Oh, 100%.
Has to be. I've seen that rage before. Like, has any of these fucking guys that they've described seeing these prostitutes with, did they have no neck? Just all tension in the shoulders?
All traps.
Right? All fucking traps.
Okay, so now we've done the 5 murders.
Yeah, but this one's different. This is the first one that was done in fucking doors.
Yeah.
Right? Jack had time. He had time to fuck around with this one.
So
And you can tell.
That's what I mean. Instead of just like fucking slicing him up on the street or wherever in the back alley and leaving him for dead,
Totally.
he actually went like got a prostitute, went back to her house.
Had some time to play around.
Yeah.
And a lot of the prostitutes, like they say, like there's no really defensive wound. So like they were into whatever was happening, they were into it. Like they were on board with like, oh, they're going home with this guy, and all of a sudden he just did a quick like double slash, killed him, strangled him, whatever he did. So he actually got this prostitute back to her own home, You know what? I just thought about it.
So he's a charming
Is he?
lad.
Is he? This is the only prostitute with a home. That other one slept in like a fucking in the
Well,
4 pennies. Fucking.
not many prostitutes could afford their own place, right? But this Marianne Kelly or Mary Jane Kelly.
Mary Jane Kelly.
Mary Jane Kelly is described to be like a very attractive woman for
Oh, so
the
she-
1800s.
she
I'm
was-
sure she's a fucking dog. But back then, she was a fucking babe, right?
She was top tier.
yeah.
Top tier.
She's a 2017 fucking 4 is the 1800s fucking 10.5.
Right. All right.
She's got all the pennies, man.
All the pennies.
She's charging 8 pennies a
all
time.
the pennies.
Shillings.
But it's funny too when you read I'm reading like I've read all the autopsy reports and like the police reports and shit. So she was found in the morning by like buddies coming to collect her rent, right? Banging on the door looking for rent.
Where's my pennies?
Yeah. Fucking looks in the fucking window, sees her mutilated, right? And it's like, whoa, like fuck, call police, let's go. Cop shows up, looks in the window, and he's like, oh yeah, she's fucked. Like we don't need to be in there. It's all good.
That's not our
She's
job.
fucked. They left her in there for like a day without even
really?
examining the body or anything.
Just too messy.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's all they didn't want to open it up because the guy who had the fucking hounds was out of town. So they're like, oh, we don't want to fucking wreck that. We don't want to ruin the scent, so we're just gonna let the fucking body in there and just marinate. It's all good.
Yummy.
Yeah, it's weird. So that concludes the canonical 5.
Canonical 5.
Yeah,
The 5 that are attributed to the Ripper, but not necessarily his only killings.
exactly.
Here's the thing: is if there was 11 killed within a short distance, what are the odds that there was 2 serial killers going at the same time?
Well, they're not all necessarily serial killers, though, right? Like the first murder, I'd have to look up her fucking name again because I just focused on the 5. She was stabbed 39 times.
Yeah, that one.
And it was
brutal.
shown that she was stabbed by somebody with a left-handed knife and somebody with a right-handed knife. Right? So kind of
It
indicative.
was more like gang related almost.
Well,
right?
and then there was the other one that was fucking murdered. I'm pretty sure she was strangled and throat slit. So it's kind of like Jack. But she
Everybody
has some-
switches it up now and again.
Yeah, it was.
Come on,
It was
everyone's
Smith, surname Smith. She was robbed and sexually assaulted.
Yeah. And she later died. 'cause
Osborne,
she had
yeah.
some shit jammed up her vagina.
A blunt object was inserted into her vagina, rupturing her medical.
Peritoneum.
There we go.
peritoneum,
She developed that
medical expert,
Peritonitis.
Bernstein.
and died the following day at London Hospital. So that wasn't a throat slashing or anything like that. It was robbed, sexually abused.
And there's no
So-
evidence of any sexual activity before that, really, right? Like, or with any of the
Not with the canonical
fives.
canonical 5. No, that was just he pretty much murdered them, fucking surgically assaulted them, and fucking left them on the street in the alley.
I just picture the guy from Beer Fest who becomes the prostitute. 3 pennies to touch it, 5 pennies, and you can stick it in me. It's just way too hard.
Okay, those are the 5 murders.
Yeah.
And from those 5 murders over the last 120 years, whatever it's been, hundreds of suspects have been theorized about. You know what? You know what's like a big deal when they get their own fucking title? Ripperologists. So there's all these fucking Ripperologists who they're fucking devote their lives just to studying who fucking did the murders.
I bet you those guys are all really well off. They must all be
120
very
years later,
wealthy.
you got like no DNA, you got like fuck all, and there's like a whole fucking category of researchers dedicated to fucking Ripperology. So now, how do you want to go about it? Like, there's like, was there like seven main suspects?
Yeah, I've got a list of the 7 mains, and then I have my fucking smoking gun.
He's got his
got my
papers
guy.
there. He's got his guy. I think Andrew's fucking solved the murder. Actually,
I must have. It only
I gotta-
makes sense.
I gotta-
But
I
I
gotta
want to
note
listen.
this,
I haven't
Jimmy.
heard Braden's beautiful voice in a while. I want to hear your fucking stuff.
okay. Yeah, Braden.
You want to?
Lay it on me, big boy.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the suspects. I'm going to talk about. Mine's out in left field.
Okay,
What else is new?
As I was looking up this case and I was looking up various things about Jack the Ripper, I came across one that some writings that said their suspect for the Jack the Ripper was actually Vincent van Gogh,
Cool. That's really
like
cool.
the fucking artist
the artist.
with no ear.
Sorry,
Didn't he have no ear or something?
They cut it
He
off.
cut off
Yeah.
his own ear.
he cut off his own ear, and their theory is that he cut off his own ear to be closer with his victim. Like he did that to her, he did that to himself. So here's a timeline.
He's gonna have a hard time finding his own uterus.
Yeah, that's why. He's like, that's why he cut her open. He's like, what is this shit?
That's amazing.
He was
So-
gender fluid.
There you go.
He,
Gender fluid.
So
Yes.
he moved, a little backstory about Vincent. He moved to Theo. He moved in with his friend, or he moved in with Theo Van Gogh in 1886.
His brother.
And yeah, Theo had an ex-girlfriend living in his apartment that he wanted out. And Theo returned to Holland for a visit. And after that, this ex-girlfriend no longer lived. And there's no recorded record of her ever existing after living with Theo Van Gogh. Body parts were found in Paris when Theo returned. And this writer says, obviously Vincent solving Theo's problems. At this point, Vincent also traveled to London in 1887, where he is credited for being in the area of the Thames torso murders of 1887 and 1889. He was directly in London at the time of these mysterious murders. There was this is a good one here. So there was a whole bunch of murders. Where's this first one here? So the first one was in June 1887. A worker encountered a bundle with the torso of a female in the river. Throughout May, various body parts of the same body were found until a complete body, with the exception of a head and upper chest, could be reconstructed.
What?
So like she a dismembered remains.
Wasn't Van Gogh the one
And
that
then-
painted all those fucked up paintings of bodies, like where the chest was like in a weird spot and eyeballs and shit were all fucked?
Yeah.
Is that Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and other people say that if you look at it's called Irises, Vincent van Gogh's 1890 painting. There's a website that outlines. They have the Mary Kelly, like the artist rendering from the time of like her body in the bed, and you can see the outline of her in this iris painting from 1890.
Oh, that's a little strange.
And she's like kind of in the same position, and people are like, he was hiding it in like plain sight and using it for inspiration. But so basically he went to London. He did these torso murders that he's directly involved with. He then moved to the south of France, and he was making several trips back to London between August and December of 1888, which is right in line with the Jack the Ripper killings.
Right.
Yeah, but
And
he didn't live in Whitechapel.
No, he didn't.
He lived
but he
pretty
was
far away.
he lived in south of France, but he was making trips, right? So he's making trips that line up with the timelines of the killing.
He didn't. He actually did live in England at the time. It's saying
No,
that he
did-
lived in Arles. I don't know how to. It's Arles. I don't know how to pronounce it. But
I have he was living in south of France in 1888.
Well, I think that's what happens after like 120 years. You probably get a little
Yeah.
divergent information.
Yeah.
But either way,
Telephone game.
he was there at the times. He was either living.
and then-
he's either living there or visiting there at the times of the murders. So
And he was he checked himself into an insane asylum at his own request at the end of 1888.
Scotty,
Right?
you're
So he
thinking of
started.
Picasso.
No.
Yeah.
oh, he's thinking
Oh.
of Picasso.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm
No,
thinking
no,
No,
I
I
am.
said
I
Scotty.
was.
Scotty is.
Sorry, I totally
Oh.
interrupted you. Scotty was talking about.
Yeah,
Picasso.
that's right.
Took it. I knew
And,
it wasn't right. I'm like, I can't.
I
interrupt
thought so.
him.
I was like, it's the swirls or the weird faces, one of the two.
No, and then Vince Van Gogh does the swirls.
Yeah.
They like in this he didn't get out of the insane asylum until like middle of 1889. So like the theory is that like he's like schizo, right? And he was killing this and hiding it, and because he was traveling so much, he was hard to pin down.
So, my only question here is like, Jack fits a certain profile, right? What's Van Gogh's motive? What's his thought process? Why this? Why
It was his inspiration for his art.
did he?
Okay.
Did he paint pictures of disemboweled women with their throats slit and shit like that? Like, where
No,
did he get
but-
that from?
He might have. artists do some
But-
weird fucking shit, man. He might
Oh,
have been
totally.
painting
Talented people are
fucking
fucked.
But
swirls,
even
and
if-
that was the blood.
even-
fiend.
No, even if you go to VincentAliasJack.com, he has like Vincent Van Gogh pictures, and you can and he highlights these spots that look like positions of the bodies. Like it's really weird. Like it's a lot of similarities. And his theory is that he was using these pictures and hiding them in objects, and that was like his inspiration. That's what he liked to do.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty cool theory. I'm not gonna lie.
I cannot confirm nor deny, but
I don't
It's a
think
little
anybody can
strange.
from the 1800s.
yeah, no one can for fucking all these suspects.
It's strange that he was in London at the same time as all the murders were happening.
Yeah, he was just happened to always be going there.
All right. Oh, that was a good one. You got any other ones?
I like that.
I got another one. It wasn't even a man. Everyone was on the hunt for a man.
Jill the
Which
Ripper.
Jill the Ripper.
You know what?
And-
That's probably the best one right there.
And people think it was like a midwife, right? Because a midwife be walking around covered in blood most of the time, right? And like women back in the day weren't, they were like lesser, you know what I mean? Like lesser citizens. So it's like, a woman couldn't do this. Women couldn't. Oh heavens.
They wouldn't know all this.
Yeah, but like a midwife would know like the anatomy of a woman and like doing that stuff because, right? They're giving birth and that stuff, and they'd be free to walk around at night. Like no one would even think twice about seeing a midwife. They were free to come and go as they pleased in the night.
Midwife. Were you
Midwife,
getting a little Cockney in there, bud?
a little bit, starting to rub in.
Yeah.
Those are my two. Those are my two that I really liked when I read it.
I like the midwife. That one's good.
I'm really glad you didn't go with your Aleister Crowley theory.
Well, I do have an Aleister Crowley theory. as
Oh,
well.
do you? Do you want to
Yeah.
do it
Sorry.
or what?
Well, no. How many do I got to do in a row here?
I
It's
just
crazy.
want. Oh, okay. So you.
5, 6, 7 in a row, no big deal.
I'm going last. I'm a closer.
Well, Andrews, he's got his theory. He's got it locked in. He's got fucking notes on notes. Like
handwritten notes.
he's actually his feet are fucking bouncing off the ground. He's just waiting. He's just waiting to tell us.
salivating.
Honestly, it's so old. I don't have like a leading theory. I think these fucking like, how do you have a leading theory after 120 years? And like, there's like, the more years we go, the more theories that like spawn.
I sat in the back of the ambulance for the last fucking 3 shifts and just fucking read and read and read.
Some people think that I've read a couple that say Aleister Crowley because how interested he was in murder and he's always rumors that he sexually tortured some of his wives and like he was this pedophile serial killer and all this bad notions, and he lived in London during the 1880s.
Yeah, but do you know how old he was in the 1881 and throughout for the murders?
Well, he's probably an old man. Man.
Well, considering Aleister Crowley was born in 1975, he would have been like 12 or 13 during the Jack the Ripper murders.
1875. Yeah, he was born. Okay, 1875.
So
1875. So he's
He
13.
would have been young.
he'd been 13. Highly
Yeah, but-
highly
maybe-
doubtful.
Maybe he matured really quick.
Well, I would
too
put-
good with
Man,
He's one of those.
Dude.
He's one of those 13-year-old kids that are fucking 5'11",
no,
200
you guys are
pounds.
crazy.
No, but
You-
but nobody
He was a-
1888,
nobody-
living in the streets of London.
nobody back then was 5'11".
No.
No.
and,
no one.
Hey,
You're a
boys,
giant.
that's a middle-aged man back then because you only lived to 22.
No, the people are living well into their fucking 60s back then.
I think it's about 60 probably.
Solid 40.
But yeah. So yeah.
So it wasn't
Aleister Crowley.
It wasn't Aleister Crowley, but we are doing a case file on Aleister Crowley
Oh my god.
because he's got a lot of other cool
Holy
shit about
fuck!
him.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Don't fucking spoil anything.
I gotta say it. It's so crazy.
Okay, go.
Have you read about how he's linked to the fucking curse of Tutankhamun?
No,
Oh
I
my
have read that.
fuck!
like
Like-
like Tutankhamun, like an Egyptian fucking pharaoh.
I like this guy tattooed on my
Yeah,
arm
yeah.
right now. Like, it's so cool. I cannot wait.
Okay, well,
Sorry,
wait
I'm
for it,
fucking
wait for it, wait
derailing
for it.
this. It's
Wait
so rad. I
Wow,
gotta
now I want
Aleister
fucking
Crowley,
know.
Tutankhamun connection coming up. Case file.
Look it
something.
up.
yeah. So
I didn't know that.
I don't know. Do you have anybody else you want to talk about, Braden?
Nope. That's what I want to talk about. My Van Gogh was my good one that I was interested in.
Okay. Zell?
Honestly, there's There's so many suspects. I couldn't actually put my finger on one.
Well, so like I'll just read off some names then. Like we got I'm gonna butcher this fucking name. Carl Feigenbaum.
Feigenbaum. That's what I was saying earlier.
Feigenbaum. Oh, is that your dude?
Feigenbaum, yeah.
Do you want to read that?
No, I don't. I wasn't putting my money on him, anyways.
There's Prince Albert Victor, which is
Prince Albert.
yeah, right.
that was a part of the royal family, right?
Yeah, and that's okay. So remember, I was giving a shout out to Alan Moore's graphic novel From Hell.
Yep.
And like the movie with I think Johnny Depp's in it.
Yep.
Something like that. That's the storyline that they go after,
followed on that one,
which is cool because it's so misfit prince impregnates common woman who's Catholic. You know, they're Christian. Impregnates a woman, so they hire a buddy to go in to fucking take out these prostitutes because the prostitutes knew about it and they were going to extort
right.
the royal family, which makes sense. Like with the first two murders were kind of sounded like gang murders, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that was too fucking messy. Let's hire a professional. So they have what's the doctor or what was the Dr. Gom or something like that? They have like a doctor that they was in their employ that they think was
Michael
bet that was
Ostrog.
who-
Michael Ostrog was the doctor.
Yeah, cool.
They thought he was a surgeon.
yeah, which is like that's a cool theory. I like that one.
You know it was him. They were like, "Yo, we need you to do this, make it look like that." And he'd be like, "Oh, fucking might as well practice that."
yeah, like
Put
that's
shit out.
Yeah.
that's a fucking rad one.
I got a op coming up. I might as well try here.
Why not?
Yeah, and so Prince Albert, so dude with the fucking penis piercing, Montague John Druitt. That's a cool first name.
How do you get your
Montague.
penis pierced?
Montague.
People. Oh, is that?
How do you do it?
I think so. Maybe more.
Fuck off! Did I really?
How do you get
butcher it?
your
I don't
penis
know.
pierced?
Yeah.
You're
with a-
right.
with a
it's totally
needle?
Montague.
I'm going to
Um,
say it's some type of needle.
Like-
Well, I
like
know
Shakespeare.
shit, but like
yeah.
you get like the bowl fucking through your pee hole and just.
I think
hole on the
it's
side of
There's
your
different
fucking
ones. You can get like ball implants, so they go under the skin to add.
Byron
This is-
doesn't want to admit what he has underneath
man,
the
I
shorts
didn't
over
know.
there.
In certain shit under the skin, you're way more knowledgeable
Oh,
about
yeah.
this than I am.
Yeah, so it adds, it's like a permanent ribbed. It's for them.
Permanent rib is for them. Yeah. Anyways, there's you have
Google it.
the
I'm
fucking.
not gonna answer. Not gonna ask that question.
I'm gonna go through some names.
Okay.
So, did we say Montag Druitt?
Yes.
Yep.
Just did.
It's Montague apparently.
Montague, yeah.
Montague.
That's my guy who I thought was doing it.
Serwin
You've had about 3 of those now, Scotty. So
Kala-
you're gonna have to fucking make up your
Kowalowski.
mind.
Serwin Kowalowski.
Kamansky or
Klosowski. I don't even know how to fucking say it.
sounds perfect.
Kozlowski.
Wazowski.
Yeah, another guy who, a lot of these suspects migrated from Poland to escape after World War II. They migrate, or not after World War II, but sorry, what were you saying, Braden?
Oh, I was going to read another one. We got Aaron Kosminski.
Aaron Kosminski.
Aaron.
This guy was an insane Polish Jew who was admitted to the Colony Hatch lunatic asylum in 1891. He worked as a hairdresser in Whitechapel during the time of the Ripper murders.
Oh, he was the barber. Yeah,
He's a barber.
Baba.
He was one of the police main suspects at the time of the murders.
Yeah, that's right. He was, but all the claims said he was. All the claims said of I guess were they doctors in the asylum said he was a harmless human.
Yeah, it seems weird for someone who's cutting
Yeah.
hair and beards all day to want to go out and fucking.
Well, the one thing about back then, barbers also moonlight as surgeons, right? Like that was their job. Like when you see a
Yes.
barber's pole
Yeah,
with a red stripe going down it, that signified them hanging their bloody rags and shit like that out to dry.
What I used to
Okay.
hear is if people had injured stuff, they would actually lace them just enough for them to bleed, not die, but to bleed out that poisons and stuff in their blood, and then they
Crazy.
they grow new blood or whatever, so to get rid of the poison. So
good enough for-
that's what those stripes.
Oh, totally, buddy. Like they're doing shit like lobotomies and stuff. Like, fuck.
yeah. Let's just drill a hole in this guy's head,
Yeah,
and I
great.
think he'll be okay.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
good. We're fucking getting the demons out.
Demons,
Hallelujah.
man.
That's so funny.
Right?
Some of the shit we
The
used
shit-
to do, man. Fuck.
Wow, buddy, it's even worse. Like, okay, it makes sense. At least you're doing something medically to him. And said, you know what? No. That's archaic. We're not going to drill holes in people's head. We're going to take them to a fucking church and we're going to faith heal them.
Oh yeah,
'Cause that's
At least
gonna
you're
work.
trying something physical. Like I
No
think if we
shit.
do that, like, well, you know what, like lobotomy, like you had pressure in the head, like, oh, we're gonna drill a hole, relieve the pressure. Like, well, it kind of makes sense.
Which
If there's
so if
bleeding,
if you have a brain injury, then we still fucking do that. It's
Yeah.
not a lobotomy, but we still that's how you
relieve the pressure,
intracranial
yeah.
pressure,
Right.
right?
So they were halfway there.
Well, but they were
maybe not
they were
halfway
doing
there.
lobotomies for
Halfway.
fucking crazy people,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
right?
Yeah, try and get their
Then after that, the next best idea was, oh, let's just fucking electrocute them.
try and get rid of their psychosis. Yeah, it was like, oh, electroshock therapy. Let's just fucking electrocute them. It'll be fine.
idea.
It'll be fine. A great idea. They'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's drooling shit in his pants afterwards. Oh, he's good. Put him with the others.
Fuck.
Anyways, there's honestly like you could go through a list of like 100 suspects
Yeah,
of
but
this fucking case.
Braden, do you got any information on this Kamansky or whatever his name is, like the DNA evidence and shit like that they recently did?
No.
Because I'm gonna fucking butcher this because I don't have it on me, but I can summarize it from the best of my knowledge. Do you know what you mean?
Yeah, do it.
So basically, I think it was who was murdered fast? Was it Catherine Eddowes or the one-
Stride.
Stride? Elizabeth
Stride.
Stride. So
Yep.
she was the one that was murdered quick,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it said that he wrapped. She had a shawl or some shit on, right? He wrapped it around her mouth, slit her throat.
Yeah.
Okay, that shawl was later auctioned off to fucking Jack the Ripper enthusiasts or whatever, right? Somebody bought it. Turns out there was some DNA evidence on it, right? So they submitted the DNA evidence, and then they compared it, I believe, to some of the main suspects, like their ancestors, and it pulled up the same as this.
Oh,
Kamansky.
I did read about that.
Well, it wasn't. It was the DNA wasn't the same. They had this. There was a certain.
No, it's called so like her what would have been her or his great granddaughter. They took her DNA and they ended up matching the mitochondrial DNA. Mm-hmm. But like I remember reading there's only a certain amount of types of mitochondrial DNA in Europe at the time, and so like the chances of her having the DNA and not having the DNA were like it wasn't enough to like actually like directly link her blood to the killer.
It was apparently some type of rare mutation in the DNA that she
Oh, is
shared
that
and
what it
that
was?
he shared. And then, so they're like, oh, fuck, it's for sure this Kosmininsky guy.
Kosmininsky.
And then it was later proved that this mutation, it was so incredibly common at that time that fucking the majority of.
Oh, that's what it was.
England would
They
have.
said like
So they got blood. They got DNA evidence of the killer. Then
Yeah, they tested the evidence against the ancestor or whatever, and they're like, oh, it didn't line up with the ancestor that was murdered, Stride. So they tested it against the suspects, and they're like, oh fuck, it's Jack's blood, not her blood. So
yeah, it was like
Which
his-
means she fought back.
Yeah.
potentially, but we don't even know. Okay, so this was disproven. It doesn't mean she was fought back. It just means they found a fucking piece of clothing that could have been
And he-
hers
and
that
here's-
had some
here's
type
the-
of blood on it.
This is the debunking I read about it. If she's a prostitute and she had this shawl and she'd been with fucking 20 guys that
How much DNA is on it?
and a couple guys wanted a little fucking cum shot on this fucking on the shawl that she had, or the shroud. And that gets in like it's been 100 years before DNA evidence was even like relevant.
Was it fucking spooge that was on, or was it blood?
No, I read. See, this thing with this thing is I read a couple things that said
I can guess.
there was some of his DNA from ejaculation on the shawl, but there was also blood. But they couldn't really decipher what was what because there's been 100 years.
A lot of tears. A lot of tears.
A lot of people touching it. A lot of people passing it around. Like,
And they say that
What's this smell like
a lot
to
of
you?
times like prostitutes would fucking like go to the bathroom or like wipe their period blood on an article of clothing and just ditch it. But oh shit, it's something we didn't even touch on. The cool thing about that article of whatever Elizabeth Stride's clothing was found directly underneath that fucking graffiti about the Jewish people. Remember? Did you read about that?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Said it was like basically like no matter what, you're going to blame the Jews in fucking Cockney English. You know what I mean? So
Well,
that's
everyone at the time was blaming the Jews.
yeah.
Pretty much, right?
I've had a rough
It
go
was,
at
it was
it.
a common theme for a few
Yeah.
hundred years.
Yeah, they're quite a few years.
Blame it on the Jews. Yeah.
Nothing but
Blame it on
smooth
Jews.
sailing now.
Were you trying to?
Yeah, I don't
Were you
know
singing
what
Milli
that
Vanilli
was.
there?
Yeah, what was that?
No, I was singing that Calvin Harris like blame it on me, but I was saying blame it on the
You should've
Jews.
bloody-
No, that's
No,
not-
Milli Vanilli, blame
not a
it
good
on the
one.
rain. Blame it on the Jews.
I can't remember how does blame it on the rain go though.
Blame it on the rain. Let's keep
that it?
falling, falling. You don't know that song? You gotta listen.
Oh,
to
I don't know your rendition of it.
Oh, Milli Vanilli's the fucking shit.
Okay, so there's 100 suspects. But
Yes.
Andrew's the guy. He's got a fucking list
Let's go.
of fucking stuff.
I really hope this makes sense. I was like in a fucking zone.
Okay, before it makes
I'm
sense,
writing it. I'm like,
we gotta take a short break
okay,
because I really gotta pee.
I gotta.
And I do not want.
Petrie.
I do not want to miss what you're about to say. So we'll be back in 1 second. There's no ads, so we'll be right back.
Petrie.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Bladders are empty.
Yeah.
Me and Scotty, me, Mr. Conspiracy, went max level stoned,
Right cheap
and
step.
we're ready to witness the conclusion of Jack the Ripper murder,
You guys are smelling of the devil's cabbage.
presented by Andrew.
Cabbage.
Devil's cabbage.
Okay, he's flipping around. He's
I gotta-
got
I gotta
his
just-
sheets there. He's ready to fucking drop some
Just
knowledge
one
bombs on
sheet
you.
He's crinkling up. That's it.
He may have just solved it.
There's just one sheet that says space news, no nudes.
He keeps flipping it
That's all it
over.
is.
Checking
That's
for
all it
someone
fucking
else.
is. Okay, so I got to bring it back to the first murder. Like,
All
bring
right.
it back to the first.
Bring it right
Bringing
back.
it back.
Marianne Nichols, right?
Yep.
So if you remember, which you probably don't, we said that Marianne Nichols was found by somebody named Charles Allen Cross.
Yeah.
Well, after doing some actual digging, reading the police reports, okay, it came out in a news article that Robert Paul, so the Robert Paul came forward as
He
a
was the
witness.
second one on
right?
the scene, yeah.
He came out as a witness saying, I saw the body, and when I saw the body, there was a man named Charles Allen Cross standing by the body before I got there. So Charles Allen Cross never came forward saying, oh, fuck, I saw this body. Right?
Right.
So this Robert Paul guy kind of throws him in the bus and was like, no, man, I was second on scene. This dude, Charles Allen Cross, was at the body before I was. Okay? So
Okay.
already, why wouldn't you, if you just see some fucking dead bitch lying in the street, you're not just going to be like, well, you know, it's all good.
Unless it's a
It is
normal
Go home and eat
1888
fucking dinner
though.
or go to work, like no big deal. So after that happened, police are like, okay, we got to bang on this guy's door, see what the fuck's going on. So they talk to the guy. Turns out that when he gave them they interviewed him and they went to give him his address, they went back to contact him and they couldn't contact him because there was no Charles Allen Cross at that address.
Just gave a fake address
Right? Well, not necessarily.
or fake name.
Okay. So first of all, just think of it in today's. We're watching an episode of CSI, and you've got a guy that's fucking caught in 2 lies already.
Double liar.
Killer.
But he looks fucking crazy guilty, right?
Yeah.
So when he was initially interviewed at scene, right? Because when him and this Paul Allen or this Robert Paul guy, so Charles Cross and Robert Paul find the body. Paul Cross a little bit before Paul Allen. They say, "Oh my God, there's a dead body. Let's go find a cop right away." Right? So they both take off together to look for a cop. As they're approaching a cop, Charles Cross runs up to the cop before Paul Allen does, and he says, "Hey, listen, we found this body. It's down here. There's a cop there waiting for you to give you some more information on it." There's a lie. There was no cop there. Right? So another lie that he was caught in. Right? Because if there wasn't
liar.
already a cop there, right?
Why
The
would-
fucking
yeah.
the cop that he was talking to him like, whoa, buddy, you just found this body? Like, stay with us. He's like, oh, there's already a cop
You're
here. He
gonna
already
run
let you
away.
go.
Like, go get another cop.
Yeah, no big deal. So he goes, and oddly enough, when that cop that they talk to gets there, there is a cop standing there, but that cop found the body on his regular beat.
Oh.
He wasn't flagged down. He was walking his normal beat
Just
and
seen
found
it.
the body himself, right?
So Buddy knew.
But
he
there was
knew
no
that-
conversation between the cops with that, right? Like so Buddy automatically assumed that Cross wasn't lying, right? He assumed
Right.
that Cross was telling him the truth. Okay.
Did Cross see him on his beat or know that that's a regular walk that he does,
He
potentially?
must have.
It
That's
was
what I gonna get
it was
to.
his regular beat.
Ah, so
Right.
he
probably knew it.
Cross may know
Timed it.
time frames.
Could potentially have known time frames. Okay.
Yeah.
Smart motherfucker.
So-
Interesting.
When you do a little bit more research into the fact that Charles Allen Cross lied about his address. When you look at who was listed at that address, it was a Charles Allen Leichmere.
Okay.
So weird that the guys got the same first names, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
I think not. So Leichman leaves his house every day to get to work at 3:30
I.M. PM.
a.m. So Robert Paul walks that exact same path to get to work at 3:45. Leichman said he found the body and was immediately followed by Paul, right? So Leichman leaves his house at 3:30. Paul leaves his house. It sounds like a fucking like grade 6 math.
Question. It does.
So Leichman leaves at
How do they meet
3:30.
up?
One
the
car
body.
travels eastward at
Yeah.
45 miles an hour.
Who arrives at the dead
Robert
body
Paul
first?
leaves his house at 3:45. Leichman's house was a 7-minute walk away from the murder scene, right? Which wouldn't add up, right? There was a way bigger
Okay.
time gap. He's saying that the minute that within seconds of Cross or Leichman finding the body, Paul Allen rolled up right behind him, which isn't true if he really found the body at 3:30, because it's from 3:30 to 3:45, 50-minute gap. And he's saying,
there'd be enough time to kill someone, I would think.
oh, totally. Well, because she was the one that was only
The
had her
quick-
throat slit
yeah, the quick
and a
one.
couple abdominal stabs, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't disemboweled or anything like that. So it was a quick one, right? So, like I was saying, autopsy report shows less extensive injuries than the other ones, right? It was strangulation, neck severed to the vertebrae, 12 total stab wounds. In and out. Could have been done in minutes. Okay? When Paul Allen was giving his original report to the policeman, right? He said when he found the body on the ground, it was dark, right? But he said there was no blood on the ground. And he got down close enough to assess if the victim was breathing, right? And could see her chest moving, right? So that's how we knew that it was fresh. And he said there was no blood, right? He said
Weird.
he didn't see any blood, whereas the cop that was walking his normal beat found the victim in a pool of blood.
Which would make sense if she's still alive but bleeding out.
Still chest still going.
no, because if she was alive and
Any
bleeding
blood.
out, right? You got blood pressure. Those are two main arteries, your carotid arteries.
You
She would have been
squirting.
fucking squirting blood. But
with a huge pool around her, though.
well, yeah, but Paul Allen denies any blood being on the scene,
Right.
Which would make sense if she was strangled before her throat was slit, right?
Which if she's
So-
already dead, there's no blood pressure. So
Exactly.
you cut the throat and it just like oozes out.
It
a little
oozed
bit.
out after a few minutes when the cop found her on his regular beat, which
Ah.
means she was fucking killed within minutes of Paul Allen finding the body. And the only person that was there within minutes, Leichman / Cross /
Okay.
creepy motherfucker.
The guy, he strangles her.
Yeah, man.
He strangles her and then cuts her throat.
Yes.
So in the 2 or 3 minutes before he finds her,
Throat was slit post-mortem.
so there was no pool of blood yet.
Yet, according to Paul Allen.
Paul Allen,
But according to
the cop,
the cop, P.I. Nichols or whatever his fucking name
Which was after.
there was a small puddle of blood. Because a lot of people's arguments would be like, okay, if this guy just slit his fucking... If Leichman or Cross actually slit this girl's throat, he would have been covered in blood and everybody would have been able to see it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right? But no. Right? So that kind of throws a wrench in that.
guy, no blood pressure. You're already dead, but your blood's still kind of warm.
Thanks, man.
Oh.
Graydon?
Did you just
going
order
on in
there?
takeout?
Gosh.
That takeout?
Did you used to order a pizza?
What'd you order? Come on.
No.
What'd you order?
Come on. Don't lie to us.
No. I got the cleaners came by and opened the door and scared
Bullshit.
scared the absolute crap out of me. They're like, "Do you want to clean in here?" I was like, "No, you can leave this room today."
Okay.
Okay.
You obviously weren't listening to my fucking smoking gun, but
I was,
He
but
doesn't
then I
even-
got scared.
doesn't even fucking get here. You were more scared from the math, weren't you, fucker? Okay. Anyways, so that's just a fucking Nichols murder. How does this compare to all the other murders?
I was gonna ask.
I'm keep on going. Look how many papers I got.
1 second. Let me ask some
Stacks
questions
on
here.
stacks on stacks.
So this victim
Yeah.
was, by this theory, was strangled first.
Yes.
Were the other ones strangled first, or was their blood ejected like you cut someone with a fucking high blood pressure artery and then like ejected all over the wall?
Annie Chapman, I believe, was strangled first. The only one that was the other ones had a lot of blood. The other ones, because the majority of them were fucking disemboweled.
Okay.
right? But
Yeah.
I don't think there was. I don't
Squirt.
read much of fucking like arterial bleeding from the neck from those. From
So
the
it makes sense
necks
that they were
last season.
possibly strangled first,
Most
also,
likely.
and
I have
then
the
cut, and then disemboweled.
I have the autopsy reports. I don't like this fucking pages, so it's going to be kind of a buzzkill if I go through it.
Because I've never actually seen a person's throat get cut, except for on those hockey videos. Those two
Yeah.
gold.
played the Ran-
The
Tarantino
Richard
movies.
Sabers.
That's
Richard
all I know.
Zednick and what was the guy's name?
played for the
The
Sabres.
goalie.
Something Chuck. Sawchuk.
No,
Matvechuk? No.
he played for the
Malarchuk.
Sabres.
Malarchuk.
I knew it was
So you've
Chuck.
seen those guys in like real time, and like that's like the ultimate reality of TV. These guys get their throat slit, just a little tiny nick, and there's blood just shooting like all over.
Believe
the
me,
place.
I've dealt with them. Right, like I've done a few of them. And
So,
it's
like
fucking crazy.
So if you're full blood pressure and you get your throat,
It's
it's
shooting.
shooting like 10,
So
12 feet.
Projectile fucking streams of blood.
So when I see blood, I black out. I wouldn't be good at what you do then, eh?
You don't know until you do it.
Did you
No, I'm kidding.
did you pass out when you
No.
cut your hand?
No, and there was a lot of blood from that.
That looks
Well,
like
yeah, because you fucking
Oh.
straight through a vein.
right through the vein.
fuck yeah,
Think
man.
about that. Think about that. But that right there. Think about how close your carotid arteries to your fucking heart.
And the
Man.
Think about the pressure that's fucking
Just shooting right out of
The
there.
amount
Out of
the
that.
amount of blood that came out of this before I even pulled my hand back, like I saw a white sheet go black.
It's not even a main artery.
Okay, well, let's just
And it was
let's,
just like,
let's give
whoa.
a little description to people who are listening and they don't know what happened. Mr. Conspiracy was working and he sliced himself on some sheet metal. Nice 5-stitch cut on top of his hand and it with fucking blood everywhere.
Oh yeah, it was deep,
His-
nice and clean.
You're gonna have a scar for life, aren't you?
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh
Look
yeah,
how,
that's
look how
gonna be- it's
badass
gonna
that
be-
thing
well,
is, though.
And it's gonna take forever to heal there.
Like, what's
yeah,
up?
because
The
you're,
mustache on the finger,
you're always
big ass
like
gash.
tightening your skin and shit on top of your
Yeah.
hand.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so the other killers
Feels good,
possibly were the same.
Oi.
Andrew,
Okay, listen.
hit it.
So how you probably ask yourself, okay, that's one of the murders. How does this connect to the other fucking murders? Well, I'll fucking tell you.
All right,
Let's do it.
drop some
Buckle
knowledge.
up, motherfuckers. All right. So after they were able to find out that Cross was Leichman, they were able to look into his past a little bit more, right? Do a little bit of digging, and Leichmir's past was similar to a lot of serial killers, right? He's from a broken home, had like 5 or 6 fucking stepdads, moved a lot in his fucking childhood, and he had one of those really weird, like, you know, the movie Psycho relationships with his mom.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you mean, like?
Maybe, who knows? Rainbow Row.
Okay.
So, anyway, so let's take it back to the first murder. 2 months prior to the first murder, he moved away from his mother and left a couple of his daughters with his mother, right? Guy's lived beside, at this time, this dude's in his 40s. He's lived beside his mother his entire life. Suddenly, boom, moves away from his mother.
Mummy
By
shoes.
choice, I doubt it. Right?
By 40, yeah, you'd go crazy, probably real fast.
So, Leichmir's new route to work goes directly through the Ripper's territory.
What time does he start work?
Every single one of his fucking murders. Well, like I said before, in my first fucking page,
3:30?
Leichman leaves his house for work at 3:30 in the morning. Okay.
But not all the murders were at 3:30.
Oh, buddy, I got.
Oh, he's
Don't
got
even
it.
fucking-
He's
just wait. Okay.
Don't even
So
tempt me.
he walked that area every day to get to work. Left at 3:30. He knew the area really well. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
He's got a train of thought. It's rolling. It's just building up right now. So he left at 3:30.
Okay, so he leaves at 3:30. So we'll go the first two, or the first one that's it. So we don't know if it's entirely linked to Jack or not. Her name's Martha Tabram,
One of the first.
the one that was stabbed 39 times.
So there's 11 murders.
So
right?
her, Paulie Nichols, Annie Chapman, all directly on his shortest route to work. Okay, all 3 of them, and were all killed within him going to work. The same period
Same
of time.
time period.
For him to get to work.
Okay.
Okay, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes were on a different route. They were further south, and they were both killed in the same night. Now, this location is significant because this is where Leichman grew up. And this happened to be on a Saturday night that they were both killed. Leichman worked
yeah.
Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
So he had so if you work Monday to Saturday, when's your night to have fun? When do you have fun? Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday fucking night. Elton John. Saturday night. Saturday. Saturday.
Saturday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Stabby day.
Stabby day. Looking perfect. So that's what the night he had off. And right?
Day.
That's the era he fucking grew up in.
Right.
Right? That those two women were murdered. The area he grew up in is where his mother still currently lived. Got the night off. Weird relationship with my mom. What am I gonna do? Maybe I'm gonna go visit my mom.
Okay.
Go visit my mom, see what's going on. Maybe he got in a fight with his mom again. Found the next fucking bitch he could find, next prostitute, and stabbed her. That was the quick murder that he didn't really finish. That didn't really fit his MO, right?
Okay.
Took off, and then he found Catherine Meadows and did it up right. Okay?
And then
Then there's the Mary Kelly.
But hang on,
Sorry.
backtracking.
Yeah.
Chapman's, her body was found at 6 o'clock in the morning, and she was last seen with someone at
but
5:30.
she was disemboweled, and her body was cold. So that shows you when the body's back then. That's how they gave time of death, is by how warm the body was.
But
and
there's-
Chapman's
but they-
body was warm.
But that was
The
seen.
thing was,
That was
seen at
she was
5:30.
seen with someone allegedly at 5:30,
yeah, but she was a prostitute.
and then half an hour later was when the body was discovered. Does it say?
we don't know.
Well, that one, she could have been one of the ones that was closer to his work, right? Because he started at 6.
It was a
Right.
Saturday in the morning, so it was an early Saturday morning. So it was his last day's shift. May have pulled a sickie.
You never know.
Never know.
So, anyways,
Sorry, got business boss.
Yeah.
Stomach.
That's something we gotta
Stomach's
do.
slit.
gotta fucking cut a bitch. Gotta make time for that shit. Okay, so
Mary Jane.
the other questions, and then there's Mary Jane's, which Mary Jane's you can't really tie. Like, it was still in his regular little route to work, right? But you can't really tie that one because it's different all on its own.
It was, yeah.
He was dismembered, completely different. She was eviscerated. He had time. He was in a room.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, big thing for this is, okay, so how is this guy fucking murdering? So he was eviscerating these chicks. So it's not like the first one where he strangled them and then cut her throat, wasn't able to get any blood on him, right? If you're pulling out intestines, shit like that, you're going to have blood on you.
You knuckle
okay?
deep.
You're going to,
At
for
least.
sure. You're
Oh, for sure.
So what did Lichmere do for work?
Butcher.
Tell me.
He worked for the Pickford Delivery Company, delivering meat.
Delivering hogs and shit.
So this
probably,
guy's
right?
fucking trotting around all over fucking Whitechapel,
Kidney.
covered in blood, with big sacks of fucking meat
Yeah.
Yeah.
on his little fucking, I don't know, buggy thing.
Well,
You know
fucking-
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Little human cart.
Okay.
In his leather apron.
And his right. Okay. So his entire life was Whitechapel, right? That's where he lived his entire life. That's where he worked, and that's where his family is, and
Yeah.
that's all where the murders were done. And then it's pretty cool because Lichmere lived a fucking nice long life, right? And right up to where I think he lived into his 70s, and right before he died, he was wealthy enough to afford a picture of himself. And back then, that shit was pricey. And
Oh, late 1800s. Yeah.
Google a fucking picture of this guy. Here's my drawing of him. You like that? It's pretty good, eh? Right? That's pretty good. Google a picture of that guy and look into his eyes and be like, nah, that's fucking not Jack the Ripper. He totally just, you get,
So Google Charles Allen Leachmere.
yeah, Leachmere, and look at the fucking picture that comes up. Guy stares right through your soul.
Are you pulling one up right now?
Oh, yeah.
Charles Allen.
Look at that, right?
Oh, there it is.
Braden, did you Google it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a
Charles-
creepy looking motherfucker.
Oh, he's a creepy
Charles-
looking motherfucker.
Okay, you know what? Granted, everybody back then was kind of fucking hard and creepy looking, but this guy, like, spooky, right?
Yeah, he's got like looks like he's dead already.
But for
I'm
me,
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy around where I live.
but for me, it's just this was the one that actually had like hard, believable,
Some
evidence.
substance
You
to
know what I
it.
mean? And that's what I was drawn to, and it made the most sense for me.
I'm on board.
It was a long fucking journey, that one.
There's
boys.
honestly
It was a
so
long journey.
many fucking
There's too
theories
many.
and so many suspects. I was like, how do I even get started?
The other ones are just grasping at fucking. I don't know. This
Sure.
one just
A lot
had
of
some
it was just-
substance,
they'd be like, "Oh, this guy had mental illness and
yeah, which he could
crazy
fucking
and
very well
attack
be.
people."
It
Oh,
was in
yeah.
the 1800s. How
Oh,
the
I'm sure he was.
fuck is anybody like? That's why when it's brand new DNA evidence. Yeah, you bet. Like fuck off.
Yeah, if you don't catch people right away, it's really hard to fucking.
No. But there are some really cool theories. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely suggest everybody, like, obviously, this would have been a fucking, 14-hour podcast
It's
if we
on
got to everybody.
It's a topic where there's actually a fucking like profession called ripperologist, and all they do is talk about the hundreds of theories and hundreds of suspects that could be the fucking Ripper, and no one's ever actually conclusively decided who it was.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Like, I definitely encourage people to have a look. If you have, you know what I mean? If you have any theories or anything like that, fucking
Let us know.
Send us.
Yeah,
Send
us something.
them.
Please do, because I love this shit. But I can't fucking wait to get into Aleister Crowley too.
Aleister Crowley's he's nearing the top of our charts here for
Right?
sure.
That's if we get the fucking Ouija out again, we should try and talk to him.
Okay, we are scheduling another Ouija. We're gonna do it in the studio. I'm gonna we'll crank down the lights because there's no windows. We'll crank down the lights. We'll light a couple candles, set up a table, and we'll have a fucking real Ouija.
Stay away from the bottle.
I want to fucking Did you say stay away from the bottle?
Yes.
I was fucking liquored, wasn't
You
it?
got liquored up.
Oh my god.
No, but what I wanted to ask.
I was wondering if anyone noticed how fucking intoxicated.
Well,
I
it
was.
wasn't until you stood up afterwards.
Okay, you
'cause
gotta
we
wait
sit the
till I'm
episode
here for
long.
this
It's
one
just-
No, what I wanted to ask people is, if you're some type of like median or someone who does this like on a regular basis and knows their shit,
If you're into witchcraft,
we want to hear from you because honestly, there's like you Google like how to properly do a Ouija, and like obviously we're skeptical and like it's made by Hasbro and we don't fully believe in it. But there's like you read a lot of stuff and it's some stuff is like super convincing. So if like we're doing something wrong or we need a different board or we need to do something different, fucking let us know. Because I would imagine the scenario. We're in the fucking studio, the lights are down, all the mics are going, and we're fucking. What just happened?
I don't like that.
We just had a fucking glitch in the studio here.
We just got paranormally activated.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
weird.
If it's
the
anything,
second he said lights down, the lights
lights went down.
in
Okay,
the
I'm done.
fucking
I don't wanna
studio.
do
Anyways, no.
Just kidding.
Fuck
Hey,
that.
you fucking listen.
You can't
No.
back
No,
out
seriously.
now. It's
Remember the
spooky.
picture? Remember the fucking picture with the thing on my shoulder? I don't really want to.
No.
What?
That was probably him.
Listen to this. So you're in the studio. The
Fucking
lights
Zozo.
are off. There's lights are off.
fucking goosebumps.
We got a fucking
It's cold in here, too.
boys. We got the fucking table out. We got the board out, and we start trying to summon Zozo, and all of a sudden, imagine this: we're on there like, oh, you guys are all fucking doing it. You're doing it. No, you're fucking doing it. And then we all let go, and then it keeps going Zozo.
And we all spontaneously
Zozo,
shit our pants.
Zozo.
I'm gonna shit all over this place if that happens.
I'm going back to Australia. Fuck you.
Byron's going home. No, but that's on the docket. Like we want to do it.
I was gonna tell you, I bought Vincent Price's fucking record that explains how to use it. Well, I'm taking my headphones off. That's fucking. I'm not even gonna listen to that.
That's scary shit, man. What the fuck is that?
I can't actually.
That was a fucking Exorcist.
Sorry you wasted your time.
Fucking with you guys.
That was fucked. Don't ever do that again.
That was awesome.
It's pretty scary,
Seriously,
man.
I feel really uncomfortable right now.
Anyways,
The Ripper.
the Ripper. We obviously don't know. It's a topic that can spawn its own podcast on its own if you really wanted to get into it. But
Oh, totally.
we thought like we got some cool stuff coming. We got our interview with Freddie Silva about crop circles coming up on Case File 46.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really like we were just fucking pumped on it. So
That guy, like, we sound like a couple duds because we were just amazed the whole time talking to this guy.
I remember he was like talking to him and being like, oh wow, and not saying any words, and him being like,
Dude.
all right, yeah, okay.
I watched two of his like 2-hour lectures, and I wrote down questions in order of like, okay, if he answers this, I'll ask this, and then I'll ask this. And he just started talking, and he almost answered every single one of my questions in the order I wrote them. It was insane. I was like,
That's so funny.
Yeah,
He was good.
It was awesome. So yeah, we got that coming. Raven, he's still on the docket, but we're hard to line up something solid here. But he's coming. He assures us.
Awesome.
And Braden, you want to do some 5-star reviews?
Sure. There, I did see we had a new one on there.
We had
Give me
like
2
3 or
seconds.
4 since the last one, I think.
Oh shit.
Hold on, podcasts. We cue it up here, guys. All right.
Go back to July 17th is I think the earliest one that we had there.
Okay, loading it up.
Loading
46
it up.
reviews. More reviews.
Fucking Gary. Oh, we actually have a new 1-star review, but we'll read on after hours because, like,
I want to hear it.
we don't.
What? Is it bad?
It's about you, Mr. Conspiracy.
I thought it
You know
was
what?
going to be.
I can't see any new ones, Ryan. All the ones I have on mine are the last one's July 10th, and I'm pretty sure I read that one.
Nope.
By
I don't
Ronald
give a fuck.
Ronald Ponnold.
That was the last one. So I'll read some then because you must not have the updated version. Okay, we got from PGZ509.
PGZ.
No, I did because didn't I tell this guy keep it sleazy PGZ?
Did you?
That sounds like something you'd say.
Well, that was on July 17th, so that's different.
Oh, maybe I said that on Twitter to him or a Snapchat. That's what I did.
Now we got to read it anyway. Now I've already said it. I love this show. I have listened to every case file more than 3 times. Keep up the good work, guys. Live long and prolapse. PGZ509 from USA.
Nice.
Good work, Brian.
Next one, 5-star review from Shuaua1678 USA. Couldn't ask for more when trying to get through the workday. Keep up the good work and hope you guys find time to get more case files done. Hashtag proud prolapser. Oh yeah, I'll be ordering a t-shirt when I get out of work release. It's
Wait,
okay
what?
to laugh, just
What
don't
is-
judge. What's work release?
I don't know.
Is that where you're
I
in
think it's-
jail and then you
I'm
get
pretty sure
released
it's
to?
jail.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what?
Sweet. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Some people go to jail for no reason, so you're probably one of them. It's all good, man.
Beautiful.
Okay, we got. Oh man, I think we got too many. I can't read them all. I'm gonna read one more.
Well, you got to read the 1-star. I got to hear it. I'm so curious.
1-star. We don't read 1-stars. We'll read on after hours because it's pretty funny though.
Shit. Fuck off. I don't come on the show that much.
Well, maybe you should have more than one sentence on a fucking cue card. Put in some effort.
Come on, that was funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna read one more. This is 5-star review from Ellie Runner from USA. People around me at work think I'm a weirdo. Every time I listen to your podcast, it's usually while I'm at work. Every 5 minutes they ask me, why are you smiling to yourself and giggling? I just reply with, I'm prolapsing, man.
I love it.
and continue on with my favorite podcast. Love the jokes, random talks about life and aliens. Keep up the good work.
That's
That was awesome.
I like
That
that.
was prolapse.
I
Just
like
prolapsing, man. Like, what's
Just
the matter with
prolapse.
you?
Duh.
Give that review
Idiot.
5 stars.
That's 5-star
Yeah.
review right there.
That's terrible. I tell them I'm just prolapsing, man.
All right, and the last thing I wanted to touch on was Zell's prolapse of the week. Well, we have a new alien theorist on the crew. He's our first Patreon. He's donating at the highest tab because he can't start his own podcast. Which is this is what we're gonna do. We have a tab on our Patreon. If you always wanted to start a podcast like ours, but you didn't have the resources, you couldn't do it yourself, go on there, go to our top tier and pay, and we will get you segments on the show. We'll guarantee you Skype-in calls because like a lot of people want to Skype in, but we're at the point now where we just honestly can't do it. So if you're really serious, this guy's the first guy,
Big time.
Yeah,
Drew.
Why do you guys talk? No.
Drew Edwards from Australia.
Oh, mate. Good work.
Yeah, obviously Byron's favorite fucking
There you go.
theorist on here, of course. But he's gonna be coming on. He's gonna be doing some Australian conspiracies and helping us out on that section of on the world.
Love it.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
You're going to get replaced, Byron.
Byron's gonna be kicked off the show.
Wouldn't be
He's
hard.
not allowed back in here. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. Braden, what do you got?
For my prolapser of the week.
Well, whatever you want.
Oh,
You got something to say?
put me on the spot. No, I don't have Wi-Fi right now, so I've been checking Snaps or Instagram
Just a random.
or
Let's make one up.
Have you listened to the
Thanks.
Mr. Conspiracy song? Because that's fucking worthy of a prolapse.
yeah, it's pretty sweet. We should put it on pretty soon.
Fucking awesome.
We have a couple. We have actually a few new theme songs sent in by fans.
Oh, actually, my Twitter standout is County Mountie 822 sent us pictures and snaps from the Denver airport in front of all the murals.
Oh, I did see that. That's cool.
That was cool. I like that. So County Mountie.
And they're just
Thanks.
as creepy as ever.
Even like the new ones are creepy too.
Like all the
things are still
sword
there.
ones.
I thought they got painted over.
I heard that too, but
Nope.
people keep sending us photos of the same murals, so they're still there.
That's fucked up.
Weird.
I'd like to go explore the Denver airport. It'd be something else.
No thanks.
One day we'll get there.
Fuck yeah.
Scary.
Anyways, I think we're gonna end this one here. We're gonna go after hours for a bit. So we'll see all you Patreon supporters on after hours, and for everyone else, we'll see you on Case File 46 with Freddie Silva.
Whoop, whoop.
And that's it. I think that's it.
And as we always say, keep those eyes in the skies or live long and prolapse. I haven't decided which I'm going to stick with.
Hey, rotate between two. All right.
Yeah,
We'll see you later.
They're both great.